Hello, good evening, everybody. How is everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing okay. Um, I'm, yeah, I hope everyone is good. Hi, Sean, welcome. I was just thinking, I wonder if we have any moderators here this evening. So I'm just going to try something. Okay. Interesting. Because I can kind of, I'm just looking in the, yay, that's good to know. I'm just looking at the OBS studio mode, which is good because I can transition between things, but I feel like, yeah, it's still a bit tricky. It's still not a. Let's add a source here. You can't see that I'm doing behind the scenes stuff. Browser. I know what it is. I'm going to try this. Hi, Tony. Properties. Sorry, it's very dull for everybody. Hi, Gracie. No worries. Yeah, I'm doing the stream, but feel free to wander in. Yeah. No worries. Okay. Media source. Oh. The kettle is going here, up this end. Hello, Alex. Hey, Haribo. Hello, Tony. Add. So this is what I'm figuring out, like how to transition you lot between screens without doing the usual click through. But interestingly, we've got a we value your privacy thing, which I don't see on the old. Let's try a refresh. Nope. So this is what I've got up. But it doesn't seem to be changing. It's a mystery. This OBS is a real mystery to me. Probably something I should be sorting out before we get there. What can we do? Okay, let's see if I can add in our... No, too tricky for me. Defeated at the first hurdle. Good to know. Has OBS updated? No, it hasn't, but you can add a browser. You can add a browser, but so I can show you this, but this privacy thing keeps coming up, which I can't see on my screen. This is very bizarre. Yeah, and I can see that yeah, I can see that like I'm refreshing and going in and stuff, but it's almost as if, okay, here we go. So this is me interacting with the browser. So here we go. Here's the browser, because today I found a walkthrough for us. So but I can't scroll down on it or anything. So annoying. Wouldn't it be great if, you know, we had someone on the stream who was like, I know how to do this. I wonder if they name warp storms. Good question. Well, let's stop mucking around with that for now. We have got a Christmas candle for today. It is, I'm not sure this is a real company. Pecksniffs, that says. Frosted pine and almond, made in England. I don't know how nice this is going to smell. We've got our colourful matches, Storm and Auger. We're going to do a magenta today. Magenta is the ZX Spectrum word for that colour. And yes, in honour of Prospero Burns, we will be giving an eye back to Mr. Pugh, because just like the book where the poor uplander got his eye taken out and replaced, we too can do that. You have to excuse the low energy. I'm having new illness this week. Hooray! I have allergies from nowhere. First time, nearly 50, suffering allergies. Yay me! So that's my latest medical adventure. But in the meantime, let's pop an eye on Mr. Pugh. Bless him. Okay. So here we go. Neil was making a cup of tea. Were you making a cup of tea all last week, Neil, when we died over and over again because we didn't have you to guide us? Yeah, I think we played for about an hour and then we just died at the end again. So we're going to cheat this week. I think we all agreed in the chat we were going to do that. I'm just taking the thing off the eye. I think we should give him 2 eyes before we light a fire. Okay. Talk amongst yourselves. Yep. Okay, here we go. Aye, Mr. Pugh. Yep, Sean. Will is getting over a wave of viruses. I'm hoping it's a virus instead of a... But I think it might be an allergy thing because it was brought on by a new unicorn rug. Yay! Mr. Pugh has 2 eyes now. So, yeah, just to echo the book I'm reading, which is a Dan Abnett completely horrible book. Yeah, as you all know, the lovely Remembrancer, who just is a science guy, he just wants to exhume old tombs. He got saved by a space wolf who took him to a spaceship, but before he could save him, he had to have his eye taken out because it had a recorder in it. But you don't find that out till later, so it's very horrifying. Will said, I thought I had allergies, but then other things happened. I really hope it's like a flu or something. I would rather it was a flu than an allergy, but the carpet made it happen. Anyway, I got rid of the carpet, didn't get rid of the allergy. He now looks very surprised. I know, because I can't find another size eye. So Mr. Pugh is in action. He has 2 eyes. I do love Dan Abnett, but he's very good at writing horror. Grace, you can have the light on in there. My friend Grace is trying to be quiet, but that also means she's turned the light out. Was it making you more silent, Grace?
I think so.
Yeah. That's the logic we have in the Unicorn Lodge. So Okay, so we will strike this scarily sulphurous match. Could be spores in the carpet. Oh God. Well, the new carpet definitely had something very chemically in it. So I got rid of it and then I hoovered and I've now got my lovely friend Gaynor gave me a special fan that goes green when the air is clear. So I just have to keep using the fan and this, that and the other. I could have triggered latent allergies. Anyway, looking at, I got some, what are they called? Antihistamine tablets, but very concerned about them because the list of side effects is intense, including nightmares, headaches, sleeplessness. So, yes, I'll have to be judicious in my use of the antihistamines. So this is meant to smell of frosted pine and almond. What do we expect frosted pine to smell of? Like icy menthol pine? Nothing as yet, but I shall report back. Okay. I do like Dan, yep. Lodge, mirror confirmed traitor. No, I'm not in that lodge. It's a different lodge. Orcs in the carpet. Oh no! Could be chemical irritants. I know, yeah. And I think I just have to keep hoovering and keep cleaning. And I'm going to the doctor on Thursday. So we'll figure it out. So in the meantime, let me see if I can't fix up this browser to show us to the walkthrough. Okay, so this solution gives you the most desirable victory, i.e. you not only deliver the gas but also save Sinclair. Sir Clive, we can save Sir Clive. I don't know if I can get rid of that ad. It's recommended you have a skill of 11 to 12. Luck is used often and can save you a lot of armor points. Recommended luck at least 10. This method avoids as much combat as possible, maximizing your chances of survival. All right. Well, that's good in so much as I can show you a static browser page, which I can't really move. So yeah, don't know how useful that is. Anyway, Neil says, I have the walkthrough handy so I can guide us through as needed. Neil, I'll take you up on that offer. Thank you. Robbie said, what did the instructions on the carpet say? Sometimes you have to leave them out to let the chemical smell go away. 48 hours sometimes. Well, it was just a rug from Ruggable. It was amazing. Had unicorns on it. But the minute I put my hands on it, my hands started itching and my face started itching, my tongue started itching, and my mouth and throat. Nothing swole, but it didn't feel good. So then I removed the carpet, and then the next morning I was the same, and my face went a bit swollen as well. I have had minimal hives, and then in bed I'm feeling like itchy as well. So God knows. I feel like I'm a medical anomaly. I could just quite happily go to a Swedish clinic and just let them study the various things that sweep through my body. Sir Clive can quietly trundle thee, wheeled into the sunset. I love it. Sounds like a vesicant compound. What's that, Will? You're scaring me. Will, if you can tell us what a vesicant compound is, that can be our fact of the day. Have you lot seen the Christmas goblins that we've got? I don't know if I showed them to you last week. I think I did. You've all seen the Christmas gobbos. Okay, let's get up the ye oldie game. Here we go. Is anyone wondering where my phone is? It's on the sofa. How funny is that? That's the phone camera. Just activated itself because that's what devices do in my house. They just activate themselves. So let's transition. Okay, so you all should be able to see Freeway Fighter, a big poster. Let me grab my phone. Okie dokie. Oh, my godson's just messaged me. Should we see what he's saying? Okay. So godson George has sent me my godson George has just sent me this and said, can I get this for him for Christmas? What do we all think, chat? I think we could do that. £33 for a towel? Crikey. Have to think about that one. Allergic to unicorns, I know. Yeah, bad times. Hey, Towley. Yeah, he wants a Towley towel. But it's 33 squid. 33 large. Why couldn't he have asked me that on Black Friday? Made of 52% cotton, 48% polyester. Going to the pool or the beach, don't forget to bring a towel. Mate, vesicants are chemicals that cause moderate to severe irritation. They can be byproducts or intermediates of polymerization. Shit, that sounds like what I got, Will. How do you get rid of it? And what if it's activated a histamine response that I can't get to go away? Neil, better than a Mr. Hanky. I agree. Lol. Anyway, let's get up the play screen. Okay. MOS. There's got to be a better way than this, everybody. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be an upside. Okay, can everyone see Freeway Fighter? Because that's what we're playing today. We may die, but we've got Neil with us, so hopefully we won't die too quickly. Let's view my channel. Play next in queue. Oh, Robbie, that's very kind of you. Thank you. £10 for Towley. My godson will thank you. Sean, recently here in Oz, there was a quilt sold that gave people chemical burns. It even ruined some washing machines. Struth, Sean, that's outrageous. Mustard gas is a classical example of vesicant. Great, good to know, Will. The vesicant sound like a good name for the Death Guard. Agree. Okay, let's play this biatch. Let's get in here and shoot some other cars. Okay. So we had failed. I mean, we could try and go back. I think we should start again with the easiest options. Let's see how we go, everybody. Restart book. We're going to have to go through all the roles. We're going to play free read. Oh, thank you, Neil. Thank you so much. Congratulations, JPC, The Dome Horizon, Arthur Banks, and Alexander Paternotte. Thank you so much, Neil. Congratulations to those amazing users who get to be Miramanga Space Marine members on the YouTube channel. Yeehaw! Look out for special content. Yay, Neil, with the subs. Yes, Sean. Thank you, Neil. Neil, guide us not to dead. We even died on the easy peasy mode. I feel like maybe we didn't connect the easy peasy mode correctly or something. Something went awry, but we're going to select free read. And I think maybe, Robbie, we went back to a save point or something out of easy peasy. So let's cheat and get some stamina together. There we go. 35 stamina. Happy with that. There are only 14 people watching tonight. I fear they have heard of our fuckery and not being very good at this. Also, people always come here expecting me to be interviewing an author or talking about the old heresy. And when I'm not, they leave very disappointed. So thank you to the new members. Guide us to gasoline, for that is the path of heaven. It's all Magnus' fault, says Robbie. Yeah. Well, Magnus hasn't turned up in Prospero Burns yet. So we shall see. Firepower. We'll take a 6. Swears Miro. Did I do a swear? Oh no. There's only 15 of us in the chat. I've driven them away. I knew it. I shouldn't have done that. 16 in the chat. I think a lot of people have power cuts or no Wi-Fi. You're interviewing Sir Clive, surely, says Happy Haribo. That would be lovely. I would love to do that. Okay, let's roll for armour. Oh my goodness. 24 base armour. So our armour is 36. I'm a bit worried. My friend Julia, who's a nutritionist and like knows about allergies and stuff, was saying sometimes your body thinks it's under attack, so it produces a lot more histamine, and you've got to find a way to calm your system down. But if I'm living in my flat and my body's decided to take against certain things that are in my flat, I'm kind of, yeah, it's a bad situation. If my allergies just stay this bad as they are this evening, I could live with it, but it's like anxiety is level 1 when I wake up, first thing to deal with. If I also have allergies for the rest of my life, it's going to feel like a lot. So we'll see what the doc says on Thursday. Okay, we need to learn about our stuff. We know the catastrophe happened. We've got to go to San Angelo and basically we've got to get like supplies in to save the world. Right, Neil. So, so this solution gives you the most desirable victory. And as I think we've all agreed, we do want to save Sinclair. He's very dear to us. So ibuprofen might help reduce inflammation. Allergies alive. It's just the carpet all passed. Thank you. Oh, I did do a swear. Sorry, everyone in the chat. I think I said fickery. I think you must have heard me wrong. Yes, Neil, a lot less than Forgrim. Which Primarch did the most wrong? Erebus did all the wrong. They're all not very nice. They're very naughty boys, aren't they? All of them. Okay, so this is saying drive out of town, drive up onto the highway, fight the red Chevy. Okay, so let's do that. We're just gonna go with this and see what happens. Drive out of town. We're not going to talk to her. We're going to drive up onto the highway and then fight. We've fought this guy so many times. Let's have some fight music. Oh. Yay! Hee hee hee. Ha ha ha. I love cheating at killing the people. Come on. Yes. God, I really hope Sir Ian doesn't ever watch this. Just sees me cheating all the time. We are triumphant. Woohoo! Yeah, no spoilers, everybody. No heresy spoilers. We managed to destroy the Chevy. Okay. Right. So let's see what the next 3 suggestions are. Go east, keep driving east, keep cruising east. Easy for us to do. We love going east as a clan. Yes, please do. So I've missed this. Grace, did you know there were power cuts across the country?
What, today?
Yeah. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Wow, there's 10 people.
Very shattered
We do. We're safe in our tower.
in the Unicorn Tower.
Um, okay, welcome to the chat, Dom Elfkicker. Erebus can't come out. He's been a very naughty boy. Yes, please, please, please do a like and subscribe. I'm sure they wouldn't have given you a cheater mechanic if they didn't expect you to use it, says Dartharus. Good point. So we're going to do East thrice. We don't investigate that ambulance. Interesting. Okay. The road is open and wrecked cars are an infrequent hazard. The speedometer reads well above the maximum speed limit that's used to control the road, but you know that there's no chance of getting a speeding ticket now. Lol. Your enjoyment, however, is short-lived. A roadblock of upturned cars and trucks come into view. You slow down and survey the scene, sensing danger. So we've never been this way before, everybody, so this is interesting. And the walkthrough says, fire a rocket. I mean, I'm quite happy to fire a rocket. Woohoo! Reaching forward, you press the rocket launcher button on the control panel. Of course we've got a rocket launcher button. The interceptor shakes as the rocket's fired, and the explosion which follows immediately is loud and blinding. When the smoke clears, you see that the roadblock no longer exists. Suddenly you hear the roar of a motorcycle engine starting up and see two leather-clad armed riders appear from behind a bush and blaze up the road through the hole in the roadblock. Ooh. Two leather-clad armed riders. They were waiting to kill us. The passenger turns and fires a warning shot as the bike races away. Okay, if you wish to drive after them, turn to 95. If you would rather let them get away, turn to 309. So we have a choice here now, people. We are in a different map to where we were before. We've got new choices ahead of us. And we've never been in this direction before on this adventure. So we could just follow our own path now and bookmark here, or we could continue with the walkthrough. What would people like to do? I'm just going to go and quickly grab my phone charger, but everybody pop into the chat whether they'd like to keep going on the walkthrough or whether they want to try and play it from this point. Okay, I'm back. I've got my charger. So let's have a look. We had rockets. No wonder we lost before, says Sean. I know, good point. Why didn't we use these before? Hello, Philip. Welcome. Philip and Dom say walkthrough. Tony says bookmark and follow our own path. Will says bookmark. I heard that as leather-clad armed writers sound surprisingly terrifying. And Sean and Haribo would like to do the walkthrough as well. I mean, I get that. I feel we are all we're a bit knackered about this one, aren't we? It's been a bit of a thankless journey. So why not? Why don't we walk through it? We deserve an easy life. Let's go. Okay. Bookmark own path, then in 10 minutes back to the walkthrough. Well, let's just walk through this. Okay. Let them get away. Drive south to Rockville. Okay. Is this just not me reading you all a book? I hope this one is becoming a bit of a house of a hell. I agree. You watch the bike speed away into the distance until it disappears from view. After waiting for a few minutes, you set off east once again. You soon come to a signpost which points down a narrow dirt track towards a town called Rockville. So what was the thing again? Drive south to Rockville. I mean, this is a whole new adventure for us. Look at us, independent little foxes. The dirt track is rough and bumpy, and you realise the people from miles around will see the dust that the speeding interceptor is throwing up. Nevertheless, you are determined to reach Rockville. Suddenly, you see a blinding flash on top of a boulder in the distance. Test your luck. Yay, we were lucky. Somebody has fired a bazooka at you, but the shell explodes harmlessly a few meters to your left. Hooray! Neil says, the next game book, Temple of Terror, is much better. Quite an interesting plot device too. That's good to know. Robbie says, seen Twisted Metal. Well, the first 2 episodes was quite funny. Oh. What were we talking about? This one. Yeah, we've got a few people saying it's a bit House of Hell. Will says House of Hell was way worse. I agree. Okay, well, we'll look forward to Temple of Terror. Hopefully it's available on the software. You press down on the accelerator, steering the interceptor towards your attackers, but before you can reach them, they jump onto their bikes and race off. We're going to chase after them, and then we're going to fire a rocket at the farmhouse. The bikes are suited to driving along the dirt track, and you're unable to catch up with them. In the distance, we see a cluster of houses, which must be Rockville. The bikes drive straight towards the houses and disappear from view. As you get closer, you hear the sound of gunfire, which seems to be coming from the nearest farmhouse. Assuming you have any, will you fire a rocket at the farmhouse? We will fire a rocket at the farmhouse. Woohoo! The farmhouse is an easy target, funnily enough, and the rocket does not miss. The explosion destroys the farmhouse, sending fragments of brick and wood flying through the air. When the dust has settled, you drive cautiously ahead, one finger against the machine gun trigger. You stop alongside the farmhouse, but see no signs of life. You turn off the engine and wind down the window of the interceptor. You hear the desperate cry of a man calling for help. Oh no, you guys. Are we the bad guys? Get out of the car to investigate. You walk over to the sound of the cry for help and find that it's coming from inside a shack attached to the general store. You ask who's inside the shack. It's Sinclair, New Hope's council leader. You search around and find an iron bar to prise open the lock on the door. Soon, Sinclair is free. You gain 1 lock point. Does this make sense? Would we have heard about his kidnapping from this direction? I don't know. Sinclair tells you about the raid on New Hope and his kidnapping. He asks you to radio to New Hope to tell them that he will return by motorbike as soon as possible. No, Sinclair, you need us. There are 2 bikes parked in front of the general store, of which he chooses the old Harley Davidson. Hey, Sinclair is cool. Thanking you for your help, he waves goodbye and roars off north. Oh, Sinclair. Neil said, I'm trying to remember where the well inspectorate originally came from. Was it while we were playing the Forest of Doom? That's a really good question. I remember it particularly in the labyrinth. You know, what was the adventure where we were competing with a barbarian with Throm? I remember it came up a lot in there because there were lots of caves. Would it have been even as far back as Warlock on Firetop Mountain? I don't know. It's before my time, says Will, is all I know. Will says, a crater is like a well. Firing rockets at a farmhouse. Who are you, Keir Starmer? Oh, Alex! Tenor saving... for saving Sinclair! So good. So good. Clive would not really roar off. More like glide silently. I know. Oh, in the opera of, if we ever write a role-playing adventure game together, Sir Clive will have to be a featured mentor. He will have to be like the dungeon master figure. We should probably do some due diligence on Sir Clive and check he wasn't a bad man. A bad human. Okay, there are 17 people in the chat. Welcome everybody as we cheat our way. I did put in the video description that we're going to cheat. Can I make this any bigger for my poor aging eyes? Okay. That's better. Okay. Free Sinclair. Search the general store and take canister of petrol. Inside the general store, we find a can of meat, which we greedily devour, not having eaten such a rare delicacy for a long time. Our stamina increases by 2 points. More important, you find a full canister of petrol, which we stow inside the interceptor. Fantastic. Hello, Jen. Welcome to the chat. Jen says, we don't cheat. It's creative reading. Yay. Thank you so much, Alex. That's super, super appreciated. Hopefully we'll get some balloons. I don't know if these are working anymore. Yay, confetti. Thank you so much, Alex, for contributing and sending a thanks. Spam, 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 says Tony. I remember going down a well in Forest of Death. Could have been Death Trap Dungeon as well, I guess, says Neil. Guided Imagineering. Love it. Okay, so what does the walkthrough say after we've done that? Search the nearest house and open the door on the left. You open the front door of the house and step inside. Leading off the hallway, there are 2 doors facing each other. We're going to open the door on the left. The door opens into a room that has recently been occupied. There are unfinished cups of coffee on the table, and the front wheel of a motorbike is propped up against the wall. Its inner tube lying on the floor. Somebody was obviously in the process of mending a puncture. There's also a toolkit on the table, inside which you find a pair of heavy-duty wire cutters, which you decide to take with you. Okay. Robbie says, we went down through a hole in a wall. There was a big slug or leech things. I remember that, Robbie. We don't cheat. Yeah, got it. So what does the walkthrough say? Leave the house. Should we just see what happens if we look in the other room? We probably die, don't we? Let's just see. Here's what we could have won. Yeah. Yeah, you die. Yeah. Okay. Well, it just saved us from losing a life, so that's good. So we're just going to leave the house. And then, which was the book with the castle we had to infiltrate? God, you guys are really testing my memory. Was that Citadel of Chaos? I remember. Do you remember we had to fight this baddie called Balthazar something, and he turned up in the chat, and it was crazy. Trying to one thumb chat while giving the dog tickle so I don't get clawed to death. Jasper, let Robbie watch in peace. Did we just rob a cyclist? Yes, we did. The start of Citadel of Chaos, yes. Citadel of Chaos. Right, okay. Leave the house. Drive off south. The dirt track twists and turns through the open countryside, but at last you come to a T-junction where the dirt track is crossed by a good road. You look down it both ways, but do not see any vehicles or signs of life. Well, this is saying head east again. So I feel like, I mean, this is crazy how different this map's looking. The last 3 or 4 times is, yeah, we've played, like, I feel like we've gone through this 4 times. We've never gone the other way. Yay, congratulations, Well Inspector. Will has been a member for 11 months. Can you believe we've been doing all this together for 11 months? Thank you so much for all your support, Will. We love your facts and love it when you can make the book club. Hope your studies are going well. Thank you, thank you. Will says, Well Inspector is at least 11 months ago, I think. It was a thing before I was here for Fighting Fantasy. Wowie zowie. Wow, we've been friends for a long time, you guys. I love it. I love it. Okay, so we're going to turn right in order to drive south towards San Angelo. Do we rejoin the map? Still no. Interesting. Okay, the road cuts through overgrown fields, but there are no obstructions. You check your mileometer to see how far you've come and notice that the petrol gauge is reading empty again. Interesting, because we haven't had anything that has said it's been empty at all yet. So the book's not working in this function. So let's continue. You brake to a halt and get out of the car to empty the fuel canister into the petrol tank. The canister does not hold much petrol, and you realise you'll have to be on the lookout for more if you hope to reach San Anglo. By the time we set off, it's early evening, and we watch the setting sun through the right-hand window. Soon it will be dark, and there's a new decision to make, which the walkthrough will tell us. Sleep the night inside the interceptor. We pull off the road and park behind a row of bushes. We have a lovely sleep, and we have some food, and we gain 2 stamina, which is very lovely. We waste no time and drive back on the road to head back south, turning to just as you're beginning to enjoy the freedom of the open road in the early morning light, we are chased by a car. It's an armoured car, and we see a jet of flame flash from its gun barrel as a shell is fired at us. It explodes to our left, rocking the car, but we are able to keep it in control. Now, the fella says, release an oil spray, and then we have to roll some dice, so we're going to probably fight. Sean, same here, Robbie. One thumb chatting as the cat wants pats. Cat want pats. Easy for you to say. Oh, should we smell our candle? It is quite very subtle. I'd say it's like a couple, maybe it's like a year old, or I don't know if smelling smells is good when I've got allergies. Anyway, not much is developing there. I'll keep you updated. Okay, we're going to release the oil spray. The armoured car drives straight over the oil slick, and we watch with amusement as the driver struggles to control the skidding vehicle. Roll 1 die. Okay. Oh no, I think we need to fight in order to... I think we need to fight. Oh God. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, everybody. For a moment... Oh, Neil as a member for 14 months too. Yay. Oh my gosh, we're having a special day today. Thank you so much, Neil, for being a dreadnought for 14 months. Are we going to get a heart? Yay, we've got a heart. For a moment, I thought that's a strange drink Mira's about to take a sip from, the candle. I think we are the pets. Thank you so much, Neil. It's so lovely to have dreadnoughts. I have to think of a dreadnought-related reward for the channel. What would the dreadnought members want as a reward on the channel? Jen, for those of you who don't know in the chat, is an author who likes to publish books about fairies. So please, let's tune in next week because Jen will have an announcement. Okay. All right, oil spray. We need to get a 6 here. So let's bookmark this. Biotch, not a swear. Oh, gosh. No. By the power of Ian Livingstone, we roll a 6. Amazing. Much to your surprise and annoyance, the driver of the armoured car somehow manages to control the skid and drive through the oil slick. Did we definitely need a 6? Success. So we just have to fight this car, right? Okay. We need to get luck. We've got luck here. You turn the wheel sharply to the left at the same time pulling hard on the handbrake. Donuts! The tail end of the car swerves right around and you stamp down on the accelerator to halt the skid. The wheels spin in a cloud of smoke as the rubber grips the surface of the road. You control the skid perfectly. Of course we do. We are Vin Diesel. And are now accelerating towards the oncoming armoured car, which starts to spit bullets at you from its machine gun. It's time to fight. Jen has written a book that's not a fairy book. Yay! Thank you so much, Neil, for gracing the lovely Will with a membership. And how useful has Will been? He is our well-inspectorate scientist. Dreadnought reward, ancient Ryliner emoji. Okay, good shout. Ryliner, oh, rip. That was supposed to be have cats have staff. Pets and dogs have staff. Fairy and ferrets are one and the same. Agree. Okay, let's fight. Yes. When I get married, we'll have to have this music in the ceremony at some stage. Maybe in the battle for the bride that takes part before the actual ceremony. We'll have the fighting fancy. Can you imagine if Ian Livingstone officiated my wedding? I'm going to manifest that. We'll get Will a blue Science Division shirt. Yes. Oh, we're giving Will a blue member username. We are triumphant. We have won the combat. Okay. As the morning wears on, it becomes very hot, and you notice a change in the vegetation the further south you travel. The overgrown fields turn into scrubland, and it won't be long before you're driving across the desert. Have we met? We have now met. So yes, we are back on the map now, everybody. So all of that was kind of required in order to successfully win this game. Which seems like, but that's a bit hardcore, isn't it? Okay. Turn right to head west. Okay. And then we're going to go down the rough road. Oh! I wasn't expecting Chuck Norris, but I'm here for it. Very, very dangerously balancing on a gate with barbed wire across it. Crikey blimey. Has it got hot in here? Oh, sugar. I just locked myself out of the game in a panic. See, I'm just talking about a wedding, but if I ever meet a male human, that's what happens. I just let myself out. I'll just let myself out. Embarrassed panic sounds. Hello, sailor. Hello, sailor, says Sean. Roar, says Will Inspector. Sean gets a red security shirt. No, we can't have red shirts because they die. We met Chuck Norris and he kicked us out of the game. I know. We drive along the bumpy road until we come to a wooden gate which bars the way. Robbie says we would never have gotten this far with our choices. I agree. Neil says must have been a roundhouse kick. Very good, Neil. The gate is covered with barbed wire and a heavily tattooed, bare-chested man who is brandishing a machine gun. This reminds me of my friend's YouTube channel. My friend Steve, he pops on here occasionally. He does a Friday night stream called Muscles and Minis, and he literally wears a tiny singlet. And he talks about like muscles and health while painting minis. So he's obviously guest starring here. Bare-chested but brandishing a machine gun. So he hasn't left the house completely underdressed. In a gruff voice, he says, I don't recognize you. Which gang you from? Black Rats, you reply on the spur of the moment. I've never heard of them, the man replies. Still, we'll race against anybody. Follow the road to the burnt-out house and you'll see the other cars parked there. The first race will start in about 5 minutes. There are some pretty heavy bets being laid today. Should be lots of fun. Okay. So we're going through the gate. Following the instructions of the tattooed man, you drive down the dirt road to the burnt-out house. 4 customised cars are parked in a row, each sprouting a multitude of weapons. A group of people stands in a heated discussion, though they all turn to watch you park. Anxiety. Don't watch us park. Come on, guys. That's so socially unaware. You walk over to the group and ask them about the forthcoming race. A small man with a scar running the length of his face says, Rookie, huh? Never been to a blitz race before. Listen, it's quite simple. Challenge any of us to a race. You have to beat 200 creds, but if you win, the prize is a big can of petrol. If you win, that is. The man bursts into laughter and the others join in. So, what does Walkthrough Man say we should do? Challenge him to a blitz race for fuel. Is that really logical? Love it. Love it. I think we get on with this walkthrough, guy. Challenge him to a blitz race for fuel. Is that really logical? Also, minus 200 crescents. Champ skis. Oh my gosh. Gosh, 11 years ago at 6:34 shared this walkthrough. Challenge him to a blitz race for fuel. Okay. I always have trouble parallel parking when people are watching. Me too, Sean. I hate it. Robbie, if Chuck Norris was in 40k, there'd be no war. Agree. Neil says, did you know when Chuck Norris does press-ups, it's actually the earth that's moving down rather than Chuck? Tony, general saying for life. We would never have got this far with our choices. Alex, yeah, he's literally pointing a gun at us, but still roundhouses. Will says, this is physically accurate. Jen, it's very simple, not to something you have to say when it's actually simple. Tony, the emperor versus Chuck. When God said, let there be light, Chuck Norris said, say please. Okay, right. We're going to challenge him to a blitz race. You take 200 credits out of your pocket and thrust them towards the man with a scar. He snatches them from you and says, there's a sucker born every minute. Get in your car. Let's do it. We race for 8 kilometers down the dirt road, turn around at the White House and turn back. And remember, there are no holes barred in a blitz race except bullets and rockets. What? You climb inside the Interceptor, start it up and crawl forward to the starting line. Your opponent draws alongside you in his bright yellow Ford. How sensible. You see that it's armed with 2 machine guns and a grenade launcher. A young woman, because of course, standing in between the 2 cars, raises a white towel in the air and then suddenly pulls it down to signal the start of the race. Okay, let's place a bookmark. Roll 2 dice. We deftly pass the skill check. You stamp down on the accelerator and release the clutch at the same time. I mean, that kind of takes the romance out of it. I feel like I'm back at my driving lesson. The back wheels spin, throwing up dust, but you race off ahead of the yellow Ford. In your rearview mirror, you see the anger on your opponent's face as he drives to the limit along the narrow road to catch up with you. The Ford must be supercharged. It accelerates up behind you and rams your car at high speed. What a sore loser. Okay, test your luck. We are lucky. Yay! We are the luckiest. Silly man challenging us. Okay, the Interceptor swerves to the left, but you steer into the skid and keep the car under control. You have to think quickly to decide what tactics to use. Let's just do a little experiment. What would the chat do? Everybody put in the chat whether they would accelerate or whether they would brake. We're just going to see how good we would be at this without the help of Walkthrough Man. Oh, maybe it's not showing all the messages. Sean would brake. Will says accelerate. Robbie says, we're in a Lamborghini. I feel quite confident. Jen, I suck at braking in racing games. Don't ask me. Dartharus says accelerate. Tony says, when I hit the dashboard, apply the brakes. Very good, Tony. Okay, so I think we would have voted for brake. I think there's more brake in the chat. Let's see what Walkthrough Guy says. Brake hard and let the Ford pass you. Okay, we can do that. You slam on the brakes and screech to almost a halt. The Ford swerves around you and is soon accelerating away from you. As you're not allowed to use your forward-firing weapons, you decide to ram the Ford. Look at us, ramming other cars. What is that? Is that a roadkill? Crikey. Brake and fire a rocket. The Ford slows down for a bend in the road, but you keep your foot down hard on the accelerator. You crash into the back of the Ford, but only succeed in damaging the Interceptor. Oh. The car loses 2 armor points, but we can still go. The Ford has steel-plated crash bars built to withstand ramming. You realise that you have to overtake the Ford in order to use your rear missile weapons. As though he's read your mind, the Ford's driver starts to swing the car from side to side to stop you passing. It will take a considerable manoeuvring skill to pass him. Easy for them to say. Okay. Roll the dice. Takes me back to supercars, says Dom. Best game ever. What about the game where you had cars and you were on they were like baby cars and you drove over a tabletop? You make as if to pass the Ford on its left-hand side, but suddenly swerve to overtake it on the right. It's a successful manoeuvre and you're able to accelerate away from your opponent. Good. Right. We decide it's time to use a weapon against the chasing car, so we look at, yes, micro machines. So you look at buttons on the dashboard. Okay. This says empty iron spikes. There we go. Spikes have been unleashed. The canister bursts open and spreads iron spikes all over the road, but the Ford is equipped with a powerful underbody air jet. What? Which blows all but one of the iron spikes off the road. The only damage done is a slow puncture to one of its heavy-duty tyres, which slows it down just enough for you to accelerate out of the range of its grenade launcher for the moment. Up ahead, you see the White House where you must turn around. You jam on the brakes and turn the steering wheel sharply to the left. You reverse back a few metres in a cloud of churned up dust, and then slam the gear stick forward into first to race back to the finishing line. The Ford makes an equally swift U-turn and is soon just behind you. It powers alongside you, and the driver pulls down on his steering wheel in order to sideswipe the interceptor. He looks set to determine the outcome of this duel by ramming. During this combat, a successful ram will reduce a car's armour by 2 points. This is very dry. I don't feel like car racing can be a fighting fantasy adventure. No disrespect, but this is dry. Formula D is a great racing game. Highly recommend. Rock and roll racing was good too, says Neil. Jen says, sounds like your opponent is making new rules, like a child on the playground every time they're losing. Well, they're going to lose now because we are the cheating children in the playground, not the yellow Ford. And what about blue Ford and red Ford? They would be ashamed of you, yellow Ford. The combat's lasted long enough. You're telling us. There's probably about 1 kilometre to go before you cross the finishing line, and you are still locked up in combat alongside the Ford. Up ahead, the road narrows to one lane to cross a stone bridge spanning a stream. If you wish to keep your accelerator pressed to the floor, turn to 35. If you would rather ease off and allow the Ford to take the lead, turn to 239. Okay. So we're going to accelerate, skill test, and swerve. Okay. In a battle of nerves between yourself and the driver of the Ford, we must roll one die. We need to roll low. That'll do. That'll do, pig. The two cars race against the bridge. Your racing skill value is 10. This is a great result. You must now determine your opponent's racing skill by rolling another die. This number is removed from their skill value of 8, so we need a high roll here. You rolled 5. We have the greatest racing skill. When you're only a few metres from the bridge, the Ford driver's courage deserts him and he brakes hard, allowing you to cross ahead of him. Your racing skill is clearly more superior. Frustrated by your iron nerve, your opponent desperately tries to pass you before you cross the finishing line. The acceleration of the Ford is blistering because of its supercharger, and the cars are soon locked bumper to bumper. You see the finishing line ahead, no more than 200 metres away, and realise that the Ford will pull out of your slipstream at any second now to pass you. We must block the Ford. Yes, Ford Prefect. Sponsored by Ford, says Dom. Kilometre after the apocalypse, metric has prevailed. Neil says, Ford Prefect. Oh. Suddenly, this Ford swings out to the left to try to overtake, but you've anticipated the driver's move and block him successfully. You gain 1 luck point. Yay! You maintain your lead, and as you cross the finishing line, the Interceptor is ahead of the Ford by half a car's length. You have won the Blitz race. Woo-woo! Very nice. The small crowd of spectators gathers around the Interceptor to congratulate you. The Ford driver climbs out of his car, slams the door shut, and stomps away. Looks like he's a bad loser, says one of the others, and it's the first time I've ever seen him lose. The woman who started the race hands you your prize of the can of petrol, which you pack inside the Interceptor. It will be about half an hour before the next race starts, so we're going to sit down over by the trees. Will you join us? She offers. You decline her offer, as you're keen to carry on with your mission. They walk away, leaving you to check over the Interceptor for any serious damage. While you're bending over the engine, you feel a tap on your shoulder. You look up and see the tattooed man, aka Chuck Norris, who is sitting on the wooden gate. Which gang did you say you belong to? I don't know why he's Australian now. He asks in a hostile tone. Your mind races back to the conversation you had with him. We said the Black Rats, I remember. I thought that's what you said, but it's just that I've never heard of them before. I hope they aren't all as good as racing at you are. I expect I'll see you again. I'm going to join the others now, says the tattooed man. Much to your relief, he walks away, leaving you to drive off down the rough roads to the main road, where you turn right to head south. Well, that was quite the session, wasn't it? That was a lot of fun. I've brought us back to base, back to my flat with its drab, meagre, tiny amounts of tinsel, so we can have a quick catch up before the end of the day. Sorry, madam, we have our own trio to sit under. Will says the use of metric here just means the US was invaded by Canada after the apocalypse. Dartharus, they all seem really nice. We should settle down and join a racing gang. Maybe we should. Tony, hostile tone. I'm a big softie, really. I know, we could have been friends all along, but it did say we were relieved when he walked off, didn't it? So I don't know how nice he was. So this week I'm hoping to get together my special Christmas video, and I'm trying to finish Prospero Burns, and I'm also reading one of the Arbiter books I've helpfully forgotten the name of. So yeah, expect random sporadic YouTube content as this book never fails to distress me. I think I'm a third of the way I'm not a third of the way through the book, maybe a quarter of the way through the book. It's a lot of Vikings pulling people apart and torturing them to death, and I don't think I like Space Wolves. What can I say? But it is really interesting hearing about the days of unification. So it goes back quite a lot early. It's very, very good. I think I'd be quite sad to play just in 40k and not hear about the beginning of the Empire and stuff. So I'm glad I'm heresying. Robbie says, very exciting. We would definitely have died another 100 times if we didn't have the walkthrough. Actually, that's quite interesting. Let's see where on the map. Yeah, because I just don't see how there would have been a way. Where's the crossover here? Do you see what I'm saying? Very strange how it doesn't really match, does it? Anyway, interesting. Robbie, Space Wolves are best at pulling people apart. Yeah, I'm beginning to learn that, Robbie. Smelly Space Wolf, says Dom. That's a whole other branch, says Tony. It is. Space Wolves, wowie zowie. No, Space Wolves are not wowie zowie. Wowie zowie is reserved for Fulgrim and Sanguinius. Check if Temple of Terror is available for our next book. Good shout, I shall. Boo. Now I need to open it again. Tin Man Games. We should talk to Tin Man and get some sponsorships. They'd probably watch the channel and go, no, you are not helping us sell these books. Jen says, Space Angels, Space Wolves and Dark Angels really should be friends, considering they're both definitely not hiding anything. Oh, everyone is. They're all up to something, aren't they? Temple of Terror is indeed available. Let's see. We'll see if it says anything about it. I hate Steam. It's so hard to navigate, and they give you loads and loads of points, but you can't actually do anything with them. It's pointless. Their writing is strong, and there seems to be plenty of action this time around as the hero fights off various enemies from cave trolls to dark elves. Overall, this is a brilliant designed FF that's exciting and interesting from beginning to end. It's urgently written in an upbeat manner. The dark, twisted power of the young Malbordus is reaching its zenith. All he needs now is to retrieve the 5 dragon artifacts which have been hidden for centuries in the lost city of Vatos, somewhere in the Desert of Skulls. Your mission is to reach the lost city before Malbordus and destroy the treasures he seeks. But beware, each step you take leads you closer to your doom. I should say at Dragon Meet I bumped into Jonathan Green. So probably would be good to read a Jonathan Green, and then, yeah. Oh, bye, Robbie. Have a great week. Thank you so much. Robbie sent me a package this week, so I'm very excited about that. Somebody sent me a Christmas card, you guys, and it was just a blank Christmas card. So if anyone sent me a Christmas card, thanks so much. Lost City sounds like there's some wells. Hello, Jim. Thank goodness. Jim popped out from lurking to let us know. The Arbiter book is Crossfire, Shira Calpurnia trilogy by Matthew Farrer. It's the first book in the trilogy, not the whole trilogy. The Inquisition deserved a butt kicking. Hashtag Justice for Armageddon. Crikey. Good night, Robbie. If the heresy hadn't happened with the Space Wars have settled down and made butter, they would have just terrorised everybody. Everybody. Adam sits innocently ultramarinely. We haven't had like a full-on ultramarine book in the heresy yet. Interesting. I'm interested. In the consider each other distasteful but enjoy each other's company more than others sort of sense. I know. Very good description. Very good. Well, it's nearly my bedtime. I have a big book to read. I'm also doing lots of work on Trench Crusade at the moment. Let me tell you, way worse than anything Warhammer could ever throw at me. Oh, the things these eyes have seen. I'm corrupted. Trench Crusade is not for the faint of heart. Okay, well, on that grim, dark note, it's been really lovely to spend an evening with you. I hope that everyone is safe from the storms and looking after themselves. And I look forward to seeing everybody next week. Please pray for me and send me anti-allergy vibes, because I really hope this is not my new storyline. You know, I just like to live and thrive with nothing going on. Is that possible? I am a trooper, Sean. When you lot read Trench Crusade, you are gonna... I don't know who I am anymore. Okay, last candle update. It's still very faint. It's kind of like a little bit candy, which is what I guess the frosted almonds, which I guess the almond smell is. Candy almond and frosted pine. It's not nice. It's just very faint. It's better than a very intrusive pine style candle. The artwork does look pretty brutal, mate. Wait till you read the words. Thomas Purinan is... I mean, he's such a lovely man. I'm so surprised how it comes out of him. Like, I have such a lovely friend crush on Thomas and James and, you know, everyone I've met on the project. They just seem amazing. Mike, I've met them. They're lovely. And then you read and look at what they're designing and you're like, ugh. Okay. Yes, it's time for everyone to go. Goodbye, Neil. Thank you so much for being here and offering to help with the walkthrough. Oh, look. Candle thumb. Will, what have I become? Mirror post trench crusade. See you all next week. Thank you all so much, especially our dreadnoughts, and thank you for gifting the memberships again, Neil. That's so kind of you. Thank you so much, Alex and Robbie, for the donations for Towley. We'll have to see if my godson is that lucky, because if I spend 33 quid on him, I've got to spend 33 quid on his brother. That's £66. So, yeah, I shall let you know. Have a great time, everybody. Goodbye, Adam. Goodbye, Will. Goodbye, Sean. Goodbye, Alex. Goodbye, Tony. Good night, Tony, Tuone and Lintu. Good night, Aztec. I hope the Wi-Fi lasted. Jen, say hi to your friend and have a great night. Yeah, thanks so much for being here. Love you all lots. Good night. Bye. Tell them to share the towel. That would go down like a bag of doo-doo. Good night, Dartharus. Good night, Jim. See you soon. Bye.